everybody, welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing tonight? What's up? Alright, so yeah, today on stream we're gonna be finishing, hopefully, Noan's story. Cinder burns. Hopefully we're finishing today, so let's go for a while. So yeah, let's get started. Firefly. Winter does not take, for some lit fires within their souls. When the sprouts begin to cover the wilderness as spring arrives, Bella finally finds the news she has been searching for before they're about to reach City 074. I've seen that person before. Really? It must be 4 years ago. It was raining and she was holding an injured child, trying to convince the staff in the conservation area to take her kid. It's hard to forget something like that. A child? Yeah, a 3-year-old boy she said she saved on her way. Unfortunately, the kid had a fever and passed away that night. Do you know what her name is and where she is now? Her name? I can try the old records. I seem to recall her putting her name down as the kid's sole guardian. Here we go. Elena Bella. It was the September 4 years ago. She is a member of Bumblebee. Do you remember? It's September. Sorry, I had to do that. My bad, I had to do that. Elena Bella? That name. It has to be her. A Bumblebee from 4 years ago. Where is she now? Who knows? Bumblebees are rare nowadays. The effect of that incident is quite long-lasting, isn't it? It's fine, to be honest. There are still a lot of folks on that train, and Jamila made sure to give everyone rations ever since she took over. People are still pretty hungry, but no one's dead. The cargo crew member sitting on the side suddenly interrupts them. How many died back then? Thousands maybe? Tens of thousands, according to some. No one gives the same answer since most who witnessed the incident don't live to tell the tale. It wasn't easy to rebuild the cargo crew. Boss loves to say we should focus on the future. Boss? Who's in charge of the cargo crew now? Nino. Nino? He's still alive, but... Wasn't Ashlar hunting down the core members of the cargo crew after the incident? How did Nino get to be in charge? Bella asks what Noan cannot ask. Because Jamila is calling the shot now, and Nino didn't really have anything to do with the mole. He was protecting the people in the back carriages at the end, so Ashlar hasn't managed to get anything on him. Jamila is calling the shot now? What happened? Babylonia's bases on the surface slowly became reluctant to work with Ashlar since the incident, and many aristocrats who were supporting him started to distance themselves over the last few years. Why? Rumor is that he has sent assassins to remove the aristocrats that refused to follow his orders, and he even blamed the deaths on the cargo crew. For real? I heard the cargo crew was responsible. Either way, his barbaric deeds were gradually exposed, and anyone with half a brain knew to stay away from him. The only ones still under his control are the ones he has leverage on. The bastard doesn't care who he hurts anymore. He went after the maintenance crew not too long ago. The fucking maintenance crew! Only a girl named Sophia survived and became a construct. That bastard is going to get thrown off a speeding Aslam one day. Anyway, things are better than they were. Perhaps if the old cargo crew waited, they could live to see Ashlar's downfall, and no one needed to die. It wasn't worth getting so many killed. Are you done with your bullshit? Do you think Ashlar could have fallen this far without their sacrifices? What are you talking about? Didn't they fail? Sure, but does that make what they did meaningless? What could be the point of their failures? Ashlar had the people and the guns back then. He even had those orb-shaped military mechanoids that could defeat a construct. Who would dare challenge him? If it weren't for the cargo crew and Bumblebee dismantling Ashlar's shining armor with their lives, he wouldn't have fallen as far as he is now. Would you have done anything if someone had a gun to your head, even if they knew there was some villainous bastard? I never wanted to discuss this sort of thing with you guys, but you are seriously pissing me off. Where do you think your freedom comes from, if not on top of their dead bodies? I was just a kid from the lower level when everything went down back then. I didn't join the cargo crew or the fight, but I did see the corpses and the blood that paved the carriages. I still dream about that day, even now. There's no forgetting it. You lot loves to complain about Ashlar and his anti-royalists nowadays, but guess what? They were so much worse back then. Their guards would murder people in broad daylight. Do you know why Babylonia refused to work with Ashlar? Do you know how his dirty deeds got exposed? It was the evidence a core member presented that tore down his empire bit by bit. That terminal might have been broken back then, delaying the trial for a few years. But the bill comes due. It didn't get better over time, naturally. Oh, my bad. Naturally. People had to pave that road with their corpses. You should have called them frickin' heroes, not wondering if their sacrifices were worth it. How many of the old cargo crew remain? Those people are either dead, hiding from Ashlar, or blamed for crimes they didn't commit. And do you think surviving that ordeal is any better? I remember seeing Captain Nino the last time I looked for him. He was sitting in the dark behind his desk with half-knitted sweater in his hands. God knows what he was thinking. As long as Ashlar remains on the train and the punching virus threatens our home, the duty that the old cargo crew and Bumblebee passed to us is not complete. We're a long way away from victory. No sacrifices are in vain. I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't thinking. Alright, did you get it out of your system? These kids have no idea about what happened in the past. It's good enough that they're listening to you. By the way, I heard that Ashlar was recruiting people with his blessing boxes again a few days ago. He was searching for something called Ascendance? Something about being immune? Ah, so this is... Ah, so this is how Ashlar gets in with the Ascendance, huh? That guy's a rat. How did you know about that? You guys were talking pretty loudly. Ascendants? Ashlar's been preaching about them. We have no idea where he learned it from. He wouldn't shut up about the Ascendants when the heterozygo fell on the train a couple days ago. Who knows what his agenda is? Heterozygo? Yeah, it was a giant monster that fell from the sky. Super dangerous. What happened to it? It was destroyed. Babylonia sent some folks down to smash it. Ashlar certainly made a clown of himself that day. Yeah, Mez is a clown, bro. Definitely a clown. Agree with that. How so? He was scheming, hoping to make a fuss about the heterozygote and the rumored descendants. Then Sophia, the construct little girl, stepped up and said she'd make a world that wouldn't need the train or Babylonia anymore, even when she had no idea how to do it yet. What happened next? People were genuinely moved by her words. Anything she said made more sense than Ashlar's crap. Hearing that, all the staff from the conservation area laughed. Stop speaking of things you don't know. Who can say how much those people have planned ahead of time? I was just enjoying the fact that Ashlar finally fell flat on his face. Have you heard of the tale calling a deer a horse? After acquiring the precise details, the two of them make their way to City 074 overnight, arriving before the train reaches the station in the city. I can't believe she's on the train, but then, that makes sense, doesn't it? Where else would someone without a home go? Not to mention that she had to hide from the old bastard Beth. Aslam would be her only chance. Bella holds the creased portrait in her hand, staring at the empty station in silence. You and Rachel asked me to join the cargo crew back then. Would I have found her sooner if I agreed? There's no way to go back in time, so stop wasting time regretting. Let's figure out how to ask her as quickly as we can when we board the train later. Anxiously, Bella clenches her fists. They stand there silently, waiting until the signal for the train's approach starts blinking. I hope you find what you're looking for. Do you want me to ask around for you? The train isn't going to stay for long, so prioritize your search first, unless you're planning to leave with it. Noan waves and starts heading out. Where are you going? I'm taking a walk. If you come back, we'll meet at base South 3 in City 074. Leaving the station, Noan hurriedly traverses the ruined landscape, entering the forest coated in mist in the morning light. He can feel a hint of warmth in the wind. Noan looks up to find his surroundings brimming with greenery. He has returned to City 074, 7 years after Field disappeared. Noan was looking for Field before the cargo crew's rebellion started, but his missions kept getting in the way. Even when he had the chance to come to City 074, he could not find anything. Noan is more or less aware of a certain possibility, having read Rachel's terminal during his time in the cell. Still, he follows the route Rachel marked and retreads the cargo crew's trail from several years ago. This is not the first time Noan walks this road. He was in City 074 during his first year on the cargo crew. He wanted to sneak away in the dark to look for Field that night, but Rachel found out. I know what you're trying to do, but we still have a mission tomorrow morning. I won't let you delay our schedule. You can head out first without me. And let the corrupted here tear you apart? Do you really think you're capable of operating on your own already? Maybe I can, but I won't compromise on this. Staying together doesn't make it any safer. Just look at Bancroft. He wouldn't have kept losing his cargo and disappeared if people weren't ignoring him. I'm sorry? Was I wrong? Have you always felt that way? Yes, ever since Field disappeared. A lot of people helped you look for him that night. A lot? That was untrue. Most people chose to ignore it. I'm grateful for everyone who chose to help that day, but I will never forgive. The slap in the face was followed by a punch, sending Noan backward onto a tree. I can let you look for him. I can even let you leave the cargo crew so you can stay away from us, the people you won't forgive and trust. Don't forget what's the real reason Field and Bancroft disappeared. Don't you forget why Julie died. Do you want to go to such a futile hunt while ignoring the root of the problem? If he's alive, he'll live a life on his own by now, and he won't need your sympathy. If he's dead, what's the point of finding him? I just want to know his whereabouts. Now's not the time. What are you going to do when you find him? Apologize to him and then sneak back? No. Stop arguing with Rachel. Come with me. Before he knows it, Noan is already deep in the forest. Captain Shauna. If he had not listened to Shauna back then, he would have certainly kept going with resentment and a wall around him. You don't have to forgive them if you don't want to. Sorry? People are complicated. You can't expect everyone to be equally virtuous, can you? Disagreement between us is nothing new. We all have a line we don't cross, and we've all done things that cross others. But I want you to understand that most people on the lower levels stick together for one goal. If you give up on that goal and other people because you can't forgive them, you'll just become that lonesome orphan child once more. What's the difference between that and abandoning what field left to you? Do you remember Hill? Noan nodded. Did she hate you just because she didn't help you when you got in the fight? Noan shook his head. We're just people. We're all flawed in our own ways. Growing up means you have to learn to accept that people aren't perfect. Unity and diversity. Is that so? Smart kid. Captain Shauna? Do you trust Captain Rachel? You little punk, giving me a taste of my own medicine? I've heard some stories. I don't know if they're true or not. I trust that part of her that can be trusted. Do you understand what I mean? To trust Captain Rachel's dedication to her team? The dream we all share? Attaboy. Her dedication to overthrowing the upper level is genuine. I can count on that, despite her imperfections. I see. Shauna was always the opposite of Rachel in Noan's eyes. Rachel always focused on the parts of a person that she could question, while Shauna always found the parts she could trust. Noan learned a lot in the years he grew up around them. Eventually, his favorite shape of himself took form. You've both left me such gifts and such regrets. However you put it, isn't the expiration date on this regret of yours a bit too far away? Don't you want to move on sooner? Not the worst thing to have something to remember. Sometimes you need people or things to care about to anchor you, or you'll break. Sound like you're speaking from personal experience. Huh, what do you expect? For real? I won't understand why you want to put your past to haunt you. Won't understand why you'd want your past to haunt you. Isn't it easier to let it go? How can you determine the road ahead without the experience of your past? Just keep the experience then. Stop talking nonsense. How do you get experience without experiencing things? How much can you learn by listening to people's stories without getting your hands dirty? Even a vaccine requires a needle through your skin. Look at how history repeats itself. Once the painful memories left to people's lives, they make the same mistake again and again. So don't forget your scars. That was what you meant when you said rotten grass brings about fireflies, wasn't it? Yeah, dead weeds bear new lives, and while the sky might be dark right now, the burning field will light it up all the same. Life and death are a tangled spiral. You can only follow the light from the fireflies after you accept the sorrow death brings. All these things that you all left behind, your regrets, your hatred, your innovations, your dreams. I want to bring them all with me. These memories have shown me a way forward. The midday sun slowly retreats behind the dark clouds, bringing forth the smell of rain. Noan stares at the other end of the field. Countless weeds and wildflowers have grown from here to there, wavering in the wind. Are you here? Noan enters the field, searching for any trace of the past, and the time frozen in his memories begins to flow again. Right now, it is 1:01 a.m. / 1:37 p.m. 1:02 a.m. The truck drove through this place in the dark 7 years ago, long before it was covered with wild grass. This isn't the way to the base, is it? That road was blocked by some collapsed ruins. We have to go around it. Alright, I'll move up first then. At the same time, Field was hiding inside a crate, holding onto his crane nervously. 1:56 p.m. No one is not surprised to find the shattered bones underneath the surface. Death is not a rare sight on this ravaged land. The dead are buried in the soil. turning into nutrients for the vegetation. The vegetation in turn feeds the birds, the beasts, or maybe the starving passing by. Summer. Noan calls helplessly, searching between the withered trees and the crumbled rocks. 1:21 a.m. Wandering corrupted rushed toward the end of the convoy, knocking over one of the trucks. We have to stop! Protect the attacked truck! We can't! There are too many corrupted! We have to get out first! I can't lose more cargo! Bancroft hit the brake, stopping the truck on the damp earth before leading his team of cargo crew toward the enemies destroying their cargo in a hurry. What do we do? Let's go help them. 2:31 p.m. Noan stops in front of a disturbed field. The signs of battle remain despite all these years. He can see broken blades, empty shells, and the remains of countless corrupted. He knows that he will need to say goodbye if he keeps going. Is that really a good idea? He asks himself. He's been fooling himself on his journey. He can only keep going if he believed his friend was still alive. If Field really is dead, where should Noan go next? Having lost everything. 1:44 a.m. The battle lasted 20 minutes, but it felt like a lifetime. Rachel was right. Stopping here only caused more trucks to be attacked. Gunshots and howls filled the air as another truck was knocked over by a bionic mechanoid. The little cry inside the cargo in comparison was almost inaudible. To draw the corrupted away, Rachel ordered the convoy to retreat. After the battle was over, several squads were about to turn around and retrieve their cargo. That was when Rachel noticed the barely breathing figure buried underneath the heavy crates, lit by the pale moonlight. It was 10 minutes before Bancroft arrived to hide her mistake. Rachel made a cruel choice. Damn, bro. So Rachel was the one who abandoned Field there? Damn, bro. And blamed it on Bancroft? Bro, what? 3:16 a.m. / 3:16 p.m. Day and night slowly line across time. When Field woke up in an abandoned orchard, all he could find were darkness and roaming corrupted. He wanted to cry for help, but his echo was all he could hear. He wanted to run, but he found his body slowly failing. When he failed to feel the temperature of his blood with his hands, Field lay next to a small sapling, smiling gently in the cloud-covered sky. Goodbye, Noan. After that brief farewell, time forever stopped for him. Noan follows the old tracks and goes over a small hill, finding a desecrated orchard before him. Most trees here are wilted, while the rest have been chopped down. Only one tree remains on the border, its snowy flowers blossoming. Noan takes off his goggles as one of the flowers floats toward him in the air. "7 years is enough for a person to be completely gone." Damn, that art, dude. Man, oh, this hurts, dude. Only a few pieces of fabric linger on its branches, rattling in the wind inside the quiet orchard. The patterns on them look similar to Field's scarf. How he wishes that the scarf was the only thing left behind in this place and Field was still laughing somewhere else. But this is the end of his dream. He can no longer fool himself. Pear blossoms. The dead has rotted, and it's reborn into a new life. Regretful it may be, life eventually finds a way back to the world. Is this tree alive because of you? Aslam has been freed from its oppressors. Will that make you smile? He asks the silent earth. The earth does not answer. Have I found you? Damn, dude. A light breeze blows past the waving branches, sending a few petals into Noan's palm. Noan knows it is just his wishful thinking, but he still carefully holds the petals in his palm, accepting the pear blossoms as an answer. It's been too long, Summer. One sec. Alright, sorry about that. I had to take a call. I finally have the courage to face the truth. I am finally brave enough to say goodbye. The corners of his mouth has not been raised for a very long time. Staring at the white petals in his palm, Noan forces himself to smile. Thank you. Thank you. He keeps repeating it as if trying to atone for the sorrow he feels. He would still be a lonely child by Rachel's side if it were not for Field. Unaccepted by the people around him, he would still be haunted by the pain he did not understand when his mother died, and angry at the world for its indifference. Field caused many gentle changes in Noan. Those changes eventually separated them forever. Now that they are reunited, Field's body has been taken by the earth and is reborn into a new life. Man. Oh, God. Bro, this hurts. Oh, man. Yo, God, man, no. Oh, God. His soul, meanwhile, continues to live in the memories of his old friend. The memories in the firefly you left guide me to this day, show me the path in the dark. Man. Bro, the firefly is... Oh, man. I'm gonna just continue. I can't formulate my thoughts right now. I finally understand that death doesn't take away the meaning of what once was. You are just transformed, living on in another way. You are the light that casts away the darkness, the fire that melts the snow, the train that moves forward, and the reason I still live. Thank you, Summer. He thanks the earth and the pear blossoms once again. And goodbye. Bro. Alright, let's go. Next one. It is the afternoon of the following day when Bella enters base South 3. Noan is looking down at the manga in his hands, reading silently. The only thing different from before is that he's using a pear blossom as a bookmark. Thought you were taking a walk. You want to pick flowers? Kind of. Hard to find a pear tree these days. Any news? Yeah. She sits across Noan with a solemn expression. She died 3 years ago. She got ill. Didn't even live to see the rebellion. She left this journal before she died and gave her possessions to a friend. Bella waves the thin booklet in her hand. She kept believing that things would get better after the rebellion won. There would be schools on the lower level. People wouldn't have to fight for food or the bathroom. Then she would be brave enough to find me. What do you think? Has her dream come true, or has everything gone to shit? She struggles to hold back the tears. Don't you cry. Tears are useless. They can't save everyone. Don't repeat what my mom would say. And aren't you the one crying? He's sobbing too. So what if I repeat her words? That just proves that it's a universal truth passed down from generation to generation. Just because it's passed down from our elders doesn't mean it's true. A lot of their ideas are outdated. Still better than those fantasies you won't stop reading. Ordinary folks will never become the all-powerful heroes in your Cardman Rider books. Cardman Rider, hey! Cardman Riders aren't all power. Their stories are captivating only because they struggle too. They both look up and frown, their grief suppressed again. The real world doesn't like your story. We don't always stand back up after we fall. So you do realize that. I thought you were all adversity builds character like your books. Adversity is always destructive. I'm just willing to believe that it can make me a better person. That's just wishful thinking you use to make yourself feel better. Nothing wrong with making yourself feel better. People aren't supposed to stay stuck. You smiled so freely when I first met you, but look at your face now. Stuck, see? Surely someone who's never smiles doesn't get to say that about me. Bella sneers. What happened on the train? What happened on that train that made you stay this way? Haven't you been listening to what people were saying? Those were their stories, not yours. Shrek isn't your real name, is it? Does it matter? Obviously, a name represents a person's past and present. Some past is just trouble. I don't want to explain and justify myself wherever I go. If that still bothers you, then you haven't made peace with your past. I couldn't bring them back even if I made peace. Haven't you also hidden many things from me? You never asked. Will you answer if I ask now? No. Me neither. Doesn't it always bother you when partners don't communicate with each other? What's wrong with the way we were? We could talk about our books. Would that have gotten anything through your thick skull? You have to learn to move past your regrets. Same thing goes for you, I reckon. I need time. Sure, but so do I. As the conversation comes to an impasse, Bella changes the subject, her brows furrowed. Will you go back to Aslam? And do what? Fair, as long as Ashlon and his people are there. And there is no way you can return. Do you want to keep going with me then? Where will you go? I'm planning to stay here for a while before deciding where to go next. There can't be anything worse out there after all. Can I offer you a new blessed name in this trying time? Bro, can I offer you an egg in this trying time? Can I offer you an egg in this trying time? Bro, that meme! The meme! The meme! That won't be necessary. I've seen the worst life has to offer. This is as bad as it gets. Things can only go up from here. Who could have known how bad things could get? It didn't take a disaster, just some other scavengers like us that we didn't watch out for. Then you were gone. Thank you, Bella. I should have said that sooner. You found me when I was most lost, and you helped me along the way. You could be quite annoying sometimes, but I suppose there's blame to share. Had I not met you, I wouldn't be standing here, safe and sound. So thank you. And I'm sorry I never told you my story. Spring will return. Your favorite flowers will bloom again. Only when you told me that did I realize. I never got to tell you how I got the pear blossoms in my books. We were always hiding our past, so we can only talk about the books we love. You might have become a merchant for the Forsaken like I did if you had survived. Who knows? Maybe eventually we could be honest with each other and become real friends. It's too late for any of that, isn't it? Mom, Captain Rachel, Field, Shauna, Nino, Wayland, Ed, Aunt-Hill. Everyone I cared for on the train is gone. Will you go back to Aslam? The Phantom keeps repeating Belle's words at random. The young man is not bothered and instead starts chatting with a familiar voice. There's no reason to return anymore. I ran into Mike at a Forsaken base a few months ago. He told me Nino had passed too. He said, Nino's old injuries had long-lasting complications in the first place. He was eating less and less in the last few years. In the last month he fell asleep one night and never woke up. He knew that she survived, and he heard I was preparing to leave Atdalek, so he asked me to give you back your things. He said no one on the train was going to keep an eye on your things after he was gone. Mike took out a familiar backpack filled with things Noan left behind. The short sword Noan used, the weapon designs Rachel gave him, Field's journal, and a manga with a bookmark resting between the pages. I was going to bring you a piece of candy, but I lost it on my way here. Candy? You gave my niece your candy on your 11th birthday, didn't you? That was so long ago. I asked him about Aslam, and that was when I found out about Ashlar was gone for good. A lot of things are getting better there. Perhaps school will show up on the lower level in a few years like her mother wished. He said her sacrifices weren't in vain. He turns around, patting the border collie by his side, deep in thought. So he decided to leave Atdalek and started a new journey. So have I. After you were gone, I started to teach myself how to perform surgery. There's still a lot I don't understand. But whatever I can do, I want to give it my all. I want to stay with other people and contribute like I did. Eventually, I had an arrangement with the Forsaken and became one of their merchants. But the red tide flooded the cities again and again after the disaster at the Puella Forest Park ruins, and it took so many lives. He stared at the projected phantom in the red tide and pauses. They never stopped fighting, no matter how helpless it was. Even if it cost their lives, the way they fought reminded me of the people on the train. I was still confused about what came out of my choices in our rebellion after I left Aslan. What is the point of it when none of you are here anymore, even if our dream has come true? Only when I saw those who had died defending the people from this calamity did I realize. I was right not to give Ashlar the terminal that day. I would have betrayed them if I had compromised. Their sacrifices would have been in vain. Spring will come like you said. Winter does not take, for some would light fires with their souls. Noan looks up and chuckles wryly. Someone dies defending against this disaster every second. They build a dam with their lives to keep the flood out. I would have made the same choices if I did if I was in the same situation, wouldn't I? Not because I decided to give the possibility they gave me. I'm just making the same choice they did. I'm passing this ticket to the future of someone else. Goodbye, Bella. I have to take matches to the Forsaken base. They're still waiting for the serums. Hey, matches! Hey, matches! Isn't that the dog from Surviving Lucium? Yo. Oh, man. Dude, it hurts. I'm glad I got to hear your voice again, but I hope this is the last time I run into the red tide. Yes, I remember it now. Conservation Area 045, Grey Raven and the unconscious Commandant. I've met them before. Now I remember this. I did make the same choice when I returned to the train with the Forsaken. The young construct didn't recognize me, but Jamila did. I don't regret anything. I've received many gifts from people in my life, therefore I'm willing to sacrifice everything I have in exchange for other people's futures. I am loved, and I love them. Our deaths and decays are not meaningless. They are the cinders that light up the night. They may only be as bright as fireflies, but small and frail as their flames may be, they are enough to light a fuse. All possibilities stem from the Big Bang, after all. Dude, this art is awesome. Noan slowly opens his eyes, having found his answer during his slumber. And is he tied up? Whoa, bro. How'd he get tied up? Despite the scars all over his body and the constraint that makes him hard to move, all his memories are back and he's no longer lost. Hey, let's go. Ooh, cutscene? Oh no. Open eyes. Okay. Recalibrating visual module, 58.21%. Frame merge. Seems part of the frame has been repaired. Hey yo. What is this place? Okay, stand up. Ooh, I like this sort of quick time. I like this sort of quick, you know, event thing. Lethos has already brought me here. Sorry, I can't read that. Should be one in Lethos' stronghold. My bad. Wait, I didn't lose memory this time. Ooh, I love the breathing. Ooh, I love that little breathing detail. Maybe Lethos didn't get Lethos didn't get the chance to do it. Now, get out of here ASAP. Oh, I love the animation and how he's walking, and I love that, like, it isn't, you know, just running around still. I like that detail, that his walking cycle, his injured walking cycle. I actually like that they gave him an injured walking cycle. I love that they gave him an injured walking cycle, dude. Alright, let's go. Oh, so... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, I was not expecting that quick time. Well, I was not expecting that quick time. You should not wake up at this moment. Lethos? Mister needs me to take care of that squad. Squad, what are you gonna do? Don't worry, just stay there. Stay here. It's well corrupted down there. I won't let you get away.
More spring will be bred from winter.
Nice. Oh shit, corrupted are coming behind, huh? Not today, baby.
More spring will be bred from winter.
I asked you to stay here.
Bring wind to the night. Knock up their sins.
Since you refuse to listen anyway, I completely crush your mind this time. But don't let you get you what you want every time. The memory I retrieved is only about the past, but Is that so? Let's give it a go. Sorry, it's going too fast. I can barely read it. Oh, promoted hero. Nice. Let's go. Ooh, voiced.
幸せな夢を作ってあげるから。
だが目覚める方法はもう知っている。
Hey yo, what is this?
ごめんなさい。一人で閉じ込められて。
Oh, is this inside Noan's mind?
友達を連れてきて。いい子にしてて。これはあなたのため。
Oh, nice. Hey yo.
換気ダクトと本棚はベストコンビだよ。開けたら脱出できる。
Yo, this is actually a crazy chapter, man. I love it.
あなたが攻撃されるのはもう見たくない。あなたを守りたかったの。
Okay. Bring wounds to the night.
Nice.
行かないで。ここを離れないで。
Hey yo, this is crazy. Yo, yo, this is insane, dude. The stage tilt and everything. I can just tell how much love they put in this chapter, man. It's actually crazy.
More spring will be bred from winter.
Oh, yo. Just spam the attack button, boys. Yo, the animations in this are crazy, dude. Hey,
あの
yo.
日、あなたは恩師を裏切った。彼女の犠牲を無駄にした。
ああ。でも彼女は見習うなだとさ。
Yo, this story is great.
あなたを救ってずっと見守っている僕のことも裏切るの。
Oh, so is this the boss?
Bring wounds to the night. This is the best match.
Yo, this stage is crazy, dude.
I'm okay.
ドアが開いた。早くここから離れよ
Get on the train. Get on the train.
Okay.
Yo, this is crazy, dude.
I'm okay.
Oh, yo. Okay.
あなたの人生はいつも無力感に追われて逃げているの。
Bro, what? This is crazy, dude.
僕のプレゼントを拒んではダメ。
ならいいものをくれよ。
Bro, this is the boss? Yo. Bro, this shit is crazy, dude.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yo. Yo, those bosses. Yo.
いつまで逃げれば自分の罪と向き合えるの。いつまで逃げれば自分の罪と向き合えるの。もう逃げ場はないよ。ここには僕しかいない。僕と向き合うしかない。
Bring wounds to the night. One spring will be bred from winter.
Come on.
I'm okay. I must not. I'm okay. This is the best match.
Come on, man.
Spring will be bred from winter.
Almost there? Nice. Hey, yo. Yo, this is crazy,
過
dude.
去の記憶の中で永遠にさまよう。
Bro. Oh, this song, man. Oh my god, the song is awesome. Mm-hmm.
母さんその方向は
Oh,
Deguchi
yo.
no
Fireflies? Oh, it's composed of fireflies.
ノアン、元気で成長して、末日のサバイバーとして、
Dude,
あなたが
this
思
is
う
so
ように生きてほし
good.
い。
Bro, this is so freaking good, man. Mm-hmm.
レイチェル隊長
Oh, Rachel?
どんな未来を望んでいても、私を真似るなよ。
Dude, I love this.
これが私たちが長年望んできた結果なのだとしたらあんまりにもひどい。
死は生きた証であり、腐敗は私たちは偽りではないと証明してくれるから、新たな生き物は雑草から生まれる。私にとってこれが腐ってホタルになるのは、見て。
What is this field?
大丈夫、生存者はまだいるからね。
Yo, they're all composed of fireflies, man.
シュレック、さようなら。元気でね、さようなら。ノアン、さようなら。
So good.
絶対に
man.
生き抜けよ。それじゃあな、ノアン。さようなら。さようなら、ノアン。さようなら。
さよならさよなら
It's so good. Yeah, goodbye. But this time, goodbye isn't just a farewell. It is proof that all of you were once by my side. Even now, I cannot let go of my past regrets and make peace with my powerlessness. I'm no saint after all. I can't just let it all go and move on. These scars are a part of me, aren't they? I'll carry them with me on the journey ahead. Even though there's still many things I can't change. New regrets that make me struggle, cry, and even hate myself. I know that I feel hurt because I still care, so I suppose I don't have to let everything go, do I? As Firefly flies around him, responding with its flickering light. Thank you. Goodbye. No, you never left. All his memories are fireflies, their light guiding his way through the dark. He hums the song from his childhood, waving goodbye to the lights and turning face to the real world, a world of both grief and joy. You can hear the sound of the ocean breeze from the lighthouse at the end of the light. Real freedom is right before his eyes. Dude, that's so good. Cinder burns. The final node, it seems like. "15 minutes later. Ugh. It takes Noan all of his strength to move his heavily wounded body and grabs onto the fence of the dock. When he woke up in the darkness, he found himself surrounded by corrupted. Without a way out, he resorted to jumping off the top of the lighthouse in the sea. This would have been the third time I fell and almost died if I hadn't become a construct. He sits on the road and catches his breath for a few seconds before standing up with his 2 swords and shaking off the water in his hair. No, I can't rest yet. Even though the infection and his injuries have pushed his frame to its limit, Noan still forces himself to shake it off and starts running. Lethos is still out there. He's going to hurt more people. Meanwhile, Paper Crane transforms back into Lethos's chair. Around him are dozens of constructs, all immobilized. You're only one left, Grey Raven Commandant. The truth is, I don't want to kill you. You're different from Ravenge. You're not repulsive. I'm happy to bring you back if you want and turn you into a construct as well. I can try to make you one of us, a companion. Yeah, no, I'll pass. Why? Lethos slowly approaches you while paying attention to his surroundings. He does not seem hurried to take down his last target. My actual companions need to connect to my mind beacon. Your actual companions? Can't I be one? I'm happy to consider it if you're willing to give up your villainous ways. I've tried that already. I also want to find a way to coexist with humans, but I've failed to achieve anything except hurting more people. You want to coexist with humans? I do. It must be hard for you to believe, but this is the one thing you can count on. I love this world, and I love most people in it. I desperately want them to outlive this apocalypse, even if it means they have to live on in a different, slightly less intact form. This doesn't make me kind of an outlier among the Ascendants, you know? Does. Try to look for an X again while he speaks. Unfortunately, you're on an open field right now. Without any covers, there is no way you can outrun a construct. Not to mention one with a strange-looking mechanical chair. It is not wise to confront an Ascendant alone. The best thing you can do right now is not to act rashly. Discreetly send another signal to Lucia. Heh. Does Paper Crane bother you? Noticing your gaze, Lethos grins. This is the torture chair I use to torment or kill the people who sit on it. Well-behaved children should stay away from her. She was a mechanical wheelchair used to assist people with disability, but she has since transformed into this after my fathers remade her. Your fathers? The people who raised me when I was young. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? That's okay. Simply put, she's just an infected mechanoid now. You don't have to understand her, and you don't have to know what happened between us. Just consider her as a corrupted. After all, it doesn't matter what I say. You humans will always treat it as the weapon of an Ascendant. Do you regret coming here to investigate the deserters? These people wouldn't have been hurt if it weren't for you. The captain of the Purifying Force, Bianca, isn't it? Mister must have killed her by now. I believe in her. Believe? Are you going to keep resisting just because you believe things can change? Of course. You're all the same. With so much confidence in your abilities, can't you see how many of you are dying because of the punishing virus? You might think the filtering is cruel, but if you keep fighting like this, what's the difference between the filtering and a victory that no one survives? The Cinders are going to try to save those with our gifts. Without us, even they are going to perish. Without you, humanity would have won a long time ago. We would have saved more people as well. Sorry. Yeah. You can't save anybody. You can't control the punishing virus. Even the air is toxic to you now. The only way to survive this world is to pass the filtering. The punishing virus around Lethos slowly forms into spikes that point at you. Humanity's courage and hope are nothing but illusions. It's a flame that kills the moth. Before I crush that hope, Grave Commandant, allow me to keep you with me. I'll make sure to weave you a beautiful dream, even if you end up as fragments inside the red tide. He raises his hand, and the spikes around him shoot towards you like a rainstorm. Right as you're about to meet your end, the thunder crackles and lightning strikes from the sky. Hey, let's go! Let's go, Noan! Let's go! A heavily damaged frame stands between you and the barrage of attacks, forming an unbreakable shield. Hey, yo! Hey, let's go! Hey, yo, the music going hard! About to go pop off! You're wrong, Lethos. Hope is not an illusion. It's what comes out of our countless sacrifices and sufferings. Hey, yeah. Is this your choice and your answer? Yes, it doesn't matter how many times you ask. I'll never agree with you in the filtering. I don't want to stay in a chasm of exiles and cages. I don't want to see their joyless smiles. I don't want to pity your crocodile tears. I will not give up on my dream. You can't save anyone without the power of an Ascendant. They will all die, just like your old comrades and companions did. I know, but there are things I can do, even as an ordinary person. Babylonia won't accept someone who has a connection with the Ascendants. They won't stop seeing you as a threat. I know. Better be treated as a threat than keep making the same mistake. That's not the Eden you're looking for. They will exploit you in your desire to be a hero, for discarding you or even accusing you of worse crimes you haven't committed. I know, been there, done that. I don't regret my choices. Bella worriedly asked him 3 questions a few days before the battle on the train back then. Confused and stressed, all Noan could answer was no idea. But now he knows he's not turning his back, even if the path ahead is a grave laden with thorns. My dream, the future that we wanted, is right there beyond the seemingly infinite darkness. Hope will triumph and fulfill its dream. Noan leaps into the air with its blade, striking at the frail-looking body without hesitations. The metal arms clash with the dual blades, sending sparks flying everywhere, even igniting the grass and leaves around them. Hey. Flipping backward using the force of Lethos' counterattack, Noan strikes, aiming for his neck. Lethos has no intention to dodge, only catching Noan's sword with his bare hands. The sharpened edge pierces Lethos' palms, and red vital liquid gushes out. You've made yourself clear. If you want to go, then go. I still think you will return one day. You'll find me and ask for the power and freedom to trek through this apocalypse. Holding Noan's sword in his hand, Letho points it at his heart. You can kill me. That's okay. I'll die soon, even if you don't do anything. So don't forget to introduce yourself again next time you see me. I'm afraid I won't remember you. Letho lets go, and the blade goes through him. Tear me apart if you want. I might still feel pain, but there's no reason to cherish a life that keeps getting reborn, is there? Lethos! Bring him back, Paper Crane. You hear a man's voice coming from the dark. Paper Crane immediately spreads its mechanical limbs and envelops Lethos before retreating. Who is that? Noan dashes towards Paper Crane, but an invisible force field hits him squarely in the face. Ouch! Oh! Vonnegut. Oh, Vonnegut's here, huh? That agent! Grey Raven Commander, I'm glad to see you here alive and well. I'm afraid those who split up with you did not fare as well. Don't worry, I've completely destroyed this series with potential. Our experiments in the game have come to an end. I'll see you next time, except it might be sooner than you expected. Right as they disappear behind the dark forest, you hear footsteps approaching hurriedly from behind. You turn to find Lucia arriving with reinforcements. Commandant, I'm sorry I didn't make it in time. You're right on time. The agent went... Right on time. That agent wouldn't have left otherwise. Oh, my bad. But most of the people who followed me were heavily injured. I can't believe that agent was here. And Lethos. What's the situation on your side? The injured members of the Purifying Force are back on Babylonia with our help. A silver lining, I suppose. Our transfer crafts are arriving soon. Let's head back. Alright, we'll move those unconscious to the boarding area first. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can help. Are you okay? Damages and infections are both at my threshold, so... He's still trembling, even when he uses his swords to support himself. Didn't realize it until the adrenaline passed, but I'm feeling a little... Smiles apologetically before he collapses to the ground. Hey! You work together to bring back the wounded onto the quarantine chamber before setting off on your journey back to Babylonia on the transport craft. Babylonia on the transport craft. Our mission regarding the deserters isn't complete, Commandant. Sitting by the cabin window, Lucia reviews the mission data solemnly. We caught a lot of them, but we failed to progress on the Ascendant front. Some Purifying Force members believe that the rescue request from Medical Center 09 was a diversion from the deserters and Ascendants. They wanted to separate us from the Purifying Force. Those people would have died if we didn't rescue them. They're people we can't save wherever we go. Well, we did save the most people we could. You're right, Commandant. Looking at the young man inside the quarantine chamber, Lucia turns and looks at you pensively. Is he one of the constructs we saved this time? He looks familiar, but can't remember where I've seen him. I think so too. But I don't think he's who we think he is. That person. Yeah, that person sacrificed himself. How's Bianca? She's in critical condition. She took a big hit trying to protect the others. Lucia frowns. That agent has yet to reveal his true strength. He just prefers to be defensive. I know. You two remain silent for a while the familiar sound of the engine as your backdrop. Soon you hear a quiet moan from the quarantine chamber. He's awake, Commandant. How are you feeling? I'm alright. Your infection rate is very high right now. I know. He sounds exhausted. Sleeping in this state might cause your mind to deviate. Try to stay awake. Alright. Have your memories returned? Yeah, I think I remember everything. Can you tell me your name, Noan? You ask him the same question you asked when you first encountered him. My name? Noan has been calling himself Shrek ever since he was thrown off Aslan, concealing his real name. He did that to avoid the unresolved conflicts from finding him and to stay away from the rumors and accusations that would not leave him alone. There were times when he wanted to use his real name, but people already knew him as Shrek by then. There was no reason to correct them. What's wrong? You still can't remember? Dude, I love that this is animated. I can remember. And like the dream and the mask Shrek represents, Noan comes with scars of the past and memories of losing his loved ones. It is a name of pain and trouble. It still draws ire in some places, the name of a traitor and a sinner. Which is why it is a name that can remind him not to stray from the path his soul has chosen. He's heading to the future now. He will face many forking paths and choices. If he has to choose a name now to symbolize his determination, then his name must be Noan. My name is Noan. Nice to meet you, Commandant. Commandant. Nice to meet you. Yeah. So good. "10:21 a.m. Science Council, a few days after Noan arrived at Babylonia. There are indeed some anomalies in his frame, but he wasn't controlling them, nor was he losing control. The Ascendant established a unique connection with him using punishing virus. I believe the Ascendant left behind some special connection technology in his frame or his mind when the Ascendant turned him into a construct. It's a fascinating design. It will certainly expand the possibilities for future construct development." So you're saying that he isn't an Ascendant or a Transcendent? That's right. If I had to guess, the anomalies in his power only appeared because he was connected to and controlled by the Ascendant. He's just a normal construct if he stays away from them. Quite fitting for the Ascendant they called Swindler back in the day. He was lying when he said the kid would lose control if he leaves the Ascendants. I can't be sure if his frame or his mind have been affected by other factors because of that. Right now, I can't guarantee that he won't lose control again. It's probably safer to keep him in the lab for now. I don't recommend it. He has been nothing but corroborative. Locking him up any longer seems unnecessarily inhumane. Are you sure? He hasn't asked to change his frame, and every test and inspection was conducted as is. High-pressure tests often damage his parts, and the inspections require removing some components. These aren't a walk in the park. He hasn't complained about anything. He would have shown it by now if he was incompliant. Do you have a way to prevent him from losing control? I do. I've left some insurance policies inside him after getting his permission. When can we be sure that the threat is completely gone? I'll need some time. The Ascendants are staying away from him currently. It will take longer to unravel its intricacies without a way to observe and collect samples. We'll get a sample if he comes into contact with the Ascendant again, won't we? That sounds like something Corona and their researchers would do. They won't let this go if they find out about him. He'll most likely die or defect if we do that. Before we solve this issue or replace his frame, I suggest keeping him away from missions that might involve the Ascendants. I guess I made the right choice assigning him to Dark Ares. Dark Ares has been reinstated? Yes, everyone on the team has some issues, so it's time to change things up. Who's the captain? Palma. Why her? She's the only one left. Noan is more than qualified, but he can't be trusted yet. We couldn't assign him to that role. Lillian is a little timid. She's no leader, and her records aren't exactly spotless. Hey, Lillian, nice to see her again. We questioned her, and although she said she wasn't aware when she brought Noan to Medical Center 09, we can't be completely sure she isn't responsible. But we're short-handed right now, so we can't afford a heavy penalty. We'll let her get used to the new squad first. All that was left then was Palma the Butcher. Ayo? Ayo, Palma looking ayo? New character? Ayo, I like the design. Ayo, and part of Simon's leading it too, eh? All three of them have something to do with Kurono, especially Lillian and Palma. Noan just got here, but Kurono won't give up on the secrets in his frame that easily. It'll be challenging for Simon to lead a problem squad like this. He isn't fit to participate in missions on the surface physically, to begin with. I'm giving him time to rest and let him and his team learn more about each other. This is already the third iteration of Dark Ares. We shouldn't overburden Simon. It was his request. He said he would no longer watch on as his teammate defected the way he did. So he accepted the surveillance mission on Noan? Not just Noan. The other two are also potential risks. Given how the fight on the surface is escalating, there's no one else more suited for this job. Don't we have enough people watching him already? We shouldn't relax as long as we can't stop people from deserting. No one is just one of the surveillance targets. Speaking of which, no one mentioned the deserters during inspection. I don't think the true purpose of that agent is tempting our people to defect. I briefly heard him mentioning that it could be a diversion. Given that Lethos was the only person responsible for this incident, I feel like the agent had a different agenda. I guess we need to send more people to the surface to investigate. Did he say anything new about that ascendant Lethos? The same thing he said when we questioned him, but Asimov remembers the first day Noan arrived at the Science Council for inspection. Lethos? What's wrong? I don't know. I don't know. He suddenly appeared behind me. Did I do something wrong? Noan pauses for 2 seconds, staring at the girl's purple hair and her eyes before coming to his senses. My apologies. I confused it with someone else. You are? I'm Rosa. I'm Mr. Asimov's assistant. I'm sorry, Rosa. That's okay. It's okay. He falls silent again, staring at her. How come? What is it? Nothing. It's just a baseless misunderstanding. Rosa has enough problems as it is. Asimov decides not to mention something this trivial. How is Lee's specialized frame? Oh? Hyperreal frame tease? We can complete the adaptation and construction at any time. But it will just be another Imperia in its current state. We still haven't made any significant improvements. We're investigating the unique connection technology unknown. Hopefully it will bring some new ideas to the development of a specialized Omega frame. Extend our order from a few days ago to keep Lee in Babylonia. He's one of the few remaining hopes. We can't let anything happen to him. Noan broke free of an Ascendant's control by himself, which means he is also capable of adapting to a specialized frame. His connection to the Ascendants means that there are still many uncertainties about him. It's safer to place our bets on Lee before we make sure where Noan stands. Seems that Grey Raven will only consist of Lucia and the Commandant for the time being. Although Liv has woken up. Hey, Liv has woke up! Yay! Alright, that's it for today's treatment. Thank you, Professor. You too, Commanded. Thank you for coming back to Babylonia so frequently. For coming back to Babylonia so frequently to assist with the process. As long as I can help. You never stop helping, Commandant. How have you been? Any issues during battles? I'm alright. It's a medical miracle that you woke up, or so I thought. I only recently discovered that the monitoring and medical devices in your room were modified before reverting to the original state. The timing matches the time you awoke. I don't know who did it, and I don't know how it was done. All the records at that time have been overwritten. Anyway, I'm gonna look into it. I won't let some kind stranger remain anonymous. I'm going to drag whoever that is to the hospital to help. The professor laughs as she waves, turning away and leaving. How are you doing, Liv? The migraines have gotten much better with the professor and your help. That's good. Lucia told me that you saved a person while you were on the surface, and he's serving in dark areas now? That's right. It's great to have a new person with us. You too, Commandant. You should rely more on others instead of carrying everything on your shoulders. Same goes for you. I'm already relying on you, Commandant, and so many others, and I will keep doing so. My pleasure. You see a familiar figure wandering outside the WGAA after you leave the Star of Life. Noan? Good afternoon, Commandant. What are you doing here by yourself? Commander Simon asked me to requisition some supplies. I'm still learning my way around here. What about you? Why are you here all alone? I'm heading back to the Grey Raven Lounge. What are you doing? What are you requisitioning? My bad. Some spare weapons and a coating. Captain Palmer said I looked like I was, and I quote, fished out of from a pile of corrupted. She told me to apply a fresh coating from the WGAA. Well, get something you like. I haven't seen how they swap a coating, so I'd love to change the experience in myself. But I haven't found out where the requisitioning office is. I'll take you there. Is that okay? Of course. Thank you then. He walks towards you with a smile. How are you, by the way? I'm good. Commander Simon is a very gentle person. Everyone else is polite. Looking at the intricate architecture of Babylonia, he reveals a hint of confusion in his eyes. Lee happens to be walking past as he returns from maintenance, and he sees a familiar figure heading further inside the WGAA. How is the Commandant free to hang around this place? Confused, Lee takes another look, and he sees the other familiar figure. He immediately dismisses the thought. What was I thinking? There's no way he could survive. No way he could survive. That must be another construct who happens to look similar. But then, that young construct has chosen a new coating. Hey, rainbow hair! But that's just a preview for the dye effect. Are you sure about that? What's wrong with it? It's ugly! I think it looks fine. You too? Is that what a chief prefers? I prefer whatever makes you happy. You. The WGAA staff member covers his eyes in anguish. I'm just curious how it looks in rainbow colors. Relax, I won't wear it outside. Seriously? I'll take it off, regretful as it may be. Hey. Lee, why are you here? Lee? You're still alive? I am. It's been a while. Do you know each other? Don't you recognize him? He's Shrek. Wait a minute. I might have forgotten to mention that. Take off that disco ball on your head, put on your test coating before you catch up. Anyway, that was what happened. I knew I recognized you. Way to bury the lead? What does lead mean? If anyone in the comments know what lead or lead or whatever means, please enlighten me in the comments or chat. But anyways, I knew I recognized you. You even picked up that book, Fate, am I right? And the Ascendants made you a construct. Your luck. That's not fair. If you hadn't jumped off with a mega weapon, you would have just died with your wounds inside the train. Don't even mention how you got away from the Ascendants. Is that a compliment? You can think of what you want. I'm glad you survived. By the way, why are you here, Lee? I saw you guys hanging around outside. I was showing the newbie around. He has his own companion, doesn't he? Simon's been busy. What about the others? Noan smiles resigningly, swallowing the rest of his words. Because of your connection with the Ascendants? Has everyone heard about it already? There have been a lot of new faces from the surfaces lately. Managing and distributing information has been a mess. I see. The more anxious people are, the more they want to stay informed, even if what they hear are plain lies. That's alright. I have plenty of experience with something like that. Don't worry about me. I still have to go see Asimov. You guys go ahead. Don't you have something else to say? Why aren't you working if you have so much free time? He walks away. I kind of feel like Lee was hoping you'd go to rest. I can tell. I noticed. I can tell. Was his gaze, or maybe his tone? Noan smiles as he takes off the test coating on him. I'll take this one. Do you have no other requirements? Members from pending elite squads are allowed to request customizations on their coatings. This is good. I'll take the one everyone uses. Okay. Thanks. Let's go, Commandant. You really should rest now. Commandant Simon said you just returned from a mission, and you're already preparing for your next. Let me walk you back to the Grey Raven Lounge. I have to go back to the Dark Ares Lounge as well. Alright, let's go. Noan? What is it? Do you regret it? Do I regret coming to Babylonia? Yeah. I don't. But since you've been here, I've been interrogated, monitored, alienated, and asked to join these researchers. Did you think this would happen when he asked me to come back to Babylonia with you? I'm sorry, I was focusing on the Ascendant that day. That's alright, I thought about this when I agreed to come. Lethos warned me too, you heard that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it through before I made the decision. This is going to be hard. Is there anything else easy? Is anything easy? People went through hardships even back in the peaceful days. And you, hero? Has your journey been easy? Of course not. Do you regret taking on this hardship then? I said I don't. Have you thought about running away and giving up because you couldn't stand the pain? No. Me neither, but not giving up doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I might be a construct, but I'm still human inside. I know I feel pain because there are still people and things I care about and a future I want to see. So our answers are the same. No matter how painful and difficult it gets, I won't regret it. It's proof that I still care. I'd rather live on with this regret and pain than give up my dream for an easier path. I see. By the way, there's something I never had the chance to tell you. Thank you for pulling me up at the last moment. I just did what I should do. He smiled, stopping before a forking road. That is the way to the Dark Ares Lounge. I should head back as well. I'll see you around, Commandant. I'll see you around. Two of you wave goodbye before heading your separate ways. Despite realizing how ordinary he is and knowing how he will face many challenges with this ordinary body, his footsteps feel determined without a hint of doubt. An ordinary life is like wild grass. Wild grass strikes no deep roots, has no beautiful flowers and leaves, yet imbibles dew, water, and blood, and the flesh of the it gets cut off. Of the dead, all trying to rob them of life. As long as it lives, it is trampled upon and mowed down until it dies and decays. But please do not loathe how ordinary it is or how it decays. It is a price for a soul to burn. Rejoice for their uncompromising souls. Laugh and sing for the snow they melt with their flame. They would rather greet death and obey and perish in silence. He, survivors, walk on a path paved with death, Firefly. One day he, survivor, will also face his death, guided by the fireflies, their love. This is the choice the wild grass made. You will still see him smiling when it is his time to go. Cinder burns. The end. Hey yo. Yo, that was such a good chapter, man. Dude, that was such a good chapter. I loved it. I loved it. So, let's hear. Alright, overall thoughts on the chapter? Really good. It was really good. Really lives up to its hype. The chapter really does live up to its hype. I'll say that. It really lives up to its hype, but kind of like the boss battle. Honestly, I kind of like the boss battle. The boss battle of this chapter did kind of remind me of the polyphage battle, not gonna lie. It's kind of good, but it could be better. Honestly, I kind of feel like PGR when it comes to big bosses are kind of hit or miss, not gonna lie, but honestly, overall, this chapter was great. I honestly love Noan now, because I honestly love Noan now. Because I honestly love his character now. Because honestly, before this chapter, I wasn't really a big fan of Noan. He was kind of meh to me, honestly, before this chapter, but honestly, going through this chapter really made me love him. And it was just awesome. Soundtrack was great. Although, I will say, some small minor nitpicks in terms of, localization. Some small and minor nitpicks in terms of localization, I would say, is a bit... It's like some of the terms are a bit too native. You know, like some of the people on the train singing... Like some of the phrases on the train portion of Noan's backstory early in the chapter, localization was kind of iffy. Because I feel like they weren't... Because I do feel like they went too far into, the whole modern, how do you do youngins type of localization in the beginning of the chapter, I feel like. But overall, I think overall the chapter was great. I loved it, and I can't wait for the next chapter. Can't wait to go next chapter.